Hey, Hannah did this to me last time too. She said Sonic, and I was at Sonic.
Hi, everybody. We're complaining, Hannah, that you're making everybody hungry. Sonic. I haven't had Sonic since Chicago.
You guys don't have Sonic in Canada? No.
Mm. And you guys always talk about those like limeade, like slushies or something. I'm like, that sounds delightful.
Yes, they do. I have to say, since our last chat, I've eaten McDonald's breakfast 3 times. Because you guys just kept mentioning it, and I'm like, you know what would be really good? So.
We went out this morning because we've got Minions toys are like the Happy Meal, right? So my husband's like unofficially collecting them all. So he made a comment, and I'm like, fine, I will get hotcakes for breakfast so you can get a Happy Meal.
If you have to make that sacrifice, you were going
right. To. The problem is that I like the hotcakes with the sausage. Like, just used to be able to get the hotcakes and the sausage round.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get that anymore. So I just ordered a sausage McMuffin on the side.
There you go. There you go.
I went for a walk.
Nice. There you go. That's how I always validate everything. I went for a walk.
Yeah. I exercise so I can eat this way, essentially. She is reading Cloche and Dagger by Jen McKinley, 51%. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Quickly saying hi. Hi. Mandy. Hi, Mandy. That's my friend Mandy.
Hi.
We've slept together. We shared a bed at Rhinebeck. We've met in person.
Was it all you thought it would be?
Right? Oh, we joke about that all the time. Hello. Reading Prove or Perish, Resort at Castaway Bay #5. That's a series I haven't heard about.
Oh, me and Cajun are very much on the same wavelength with books this month because I have that on my list too.
So what are you guys reading tonight? What are you starting your July off with?
I need to finish up one from last month, so I will probably be working on Death at Castle Dark. Finally. By Veronica Bond. Everybody's been like waiting for me to read this, and I've been kind of leery about it because everybody loves it, and I'm like, what if I hate it? But so far, I'm enjoying it. So far, I'm like about 46% in. So.
Oh, that's great! Awesome.
I dropped Dead, which I'm about halfway through, and I started at work The Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins.
Ooh, I read that. That was my first book of the year, I think, or one of my first books. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I did start a Debbie Maycomer.
Okay.
I started the 6th book in the Cedar Cove series on audio. I subscribed to Scribd this month just so I could get audiobooks for my retro.
There you go. Hey, you do what you gotta do.
Like, I've signed up for it before, and I'm like, well, it's gotten a little bit more expensive than it was whenever I signed up for it last time. And it said free 30-day trial. And I was like,
I like free.
Okay. Click on free is for me. Exactly.
So I've got the whole month to decide whether I want to pay for it more or not.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I have it and I barely use it. I find I go to Hoopla. I get a lot from Hoopla.
Yeah. Well, the last time I was on it was $8.99, and that was like, it said something like $11.99, and I was like, what happened? Wow. What happened?
Well, I think I told you guys, because I had the thing, and that video is one of my most popular. I have free Scribd until like Scribd whatever till 2025, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. But every time I go on the website, it does this pop up in the middle of my screen that says sign up for a whole year for this amount of money. And I'm like, I guarantee you it's a ploy that if I accidentally click it, all my free stuff will be gone. So I'm like, exit, you know, like.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's exactly what would happen. I started, what is it? Hitches, Hideouts, and Homicides. I think it's the 7th book.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I started that one. And I'm already like a quarter of the way through it. I mean, it's 4 hours on audio. We were out wandering around a lot today. I was thinking of you, Storm. We went to an antique mall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I keep driving past it and I never have time to stop in. And I said to my husband, I'm like, can we go? And he's like, yeah, okay. And it was huge. No books. I'm like, how do none of you sell books? Like they had one woman had like a couple of Nancy Drews, and I bought a Nancy Drew because I happened to be reading it this month. And I'm like, well, that was disappointing. But it was still fun to wander around. They had a lot of cool things, but still no books. Very upsetting. But I also started a Love Inspired today, which I really think I'm gonna like. It's coming out in August, and it's called Their Make Believe Match, and she's like a little bit of an Amish rebel, like she likes to have fun, and and I'm like, oh, I think I can get behind this. So we shall see.
Nice.
We shall see. I'll be reading Fletch by Gregory MacDonald. Which one first came out? 1974. Dusting it off for the Jaws readathon. There you go. I just did my video including the retro romance readathon and the Jaws readathon and the Christmas in July. So that'll come out on Tuesday.
I'm still going through my books trying to decide.
Well, that's why when the Reckless Girls came up, it was off of my library, and it's been on there for months. So when it popped up, I was like, oh, perfect. Let me read this one. I'm like, it's a thriller. It takes place on the water. It has flowers on the cover for retro. I'm like, this works out perfectly.
Takes place on an island.
Yep. So I'm like, it has all these things I can use. So
Yep. You'll be good with that one.
I've been looking for audiobooks. So I've been going through mine and looking. And so now that I've got Scribd, I can like put that one in there. Oh, nope, they don't have one. Put that over to the side. Put that one.
That's right, yeah.
And I even went to the library today and got some books from the library. Because I could get them on audiobooks or audio. So I was like, oh, that one works. That one works.
there you go.
I have my first Lindsay Sands. I've never read her.
Ooh, I think I've read one by her. It was years ago. She writes the vampire.
Yeah, she writes vampires. This one's not a vampire one, I don't think. But she has that, like the quick bite or something. Or
Yeah. Like what I read by her was like a funny vampire romance. Like it was very humorous.
I want to say it's like the Arginon.
Yeah, okay, that's her other series. All right, yeah.
Version.
Very good. Read It and Weep by Jen McKinley. A lot of Jen McKinley. Bought my first Harlequin today. It's a Love Inspired, snowbound with a cowboy.
Nice.
You're making my day, Jessica.
Sounds like a good one too. Snowbound with
Right? I'm all about the cowboys. Hi, Rainy. Oops, shit. Just suddenly flies up. I'm not used to these comments. Death in Castle Dark. There you go. Not reading right now. Eating dinner will be when I'm done. Excellent. Hello, y'all. I'm reading Mars Volume 3. That sounds, from the author, it sounds like it might be a manga, I'm assuming. And rereading Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I only know that from hearing it on BookTube about 37,000 times.
me too.
The Raven Cycle.
Yes.
Yes. Outlander. Yes, that is.
I downloaded that on my Audibles. I have like a whole bunch of Audible books, even though I don't have Audible. I'm not subscribed to it, but I knew I had Outlander on there, so I was like, had to go through my library and find it. It was like way down at the bottom. You know? It wasn't as long as I thought. It's like 32 hours. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. The first one surprisingly isn't long, and it was funny because I thought, for some reason in my brain, because I read it so long ago, I'm like, I think this originally came out in the 70s. If I finish it this month, I can use it for the Jaws. No, it came out in 91. I'm like, oh, my perspective of time is so off.
Just a little.
Somebody's like 30 years ago. Oh, 1970. Oh, no, wait, 1990. Was it my husband and I saw? You remember that song 1979 by the Pumpkins? Smashing Pumpkins? They said the equivalent would be if a band wrote a song today called 1994 or something like that. Like, that's depressing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I'm like, oh, I'm not really that old, am I? Yeah, thanks, Mandy. I miss seeing her face. So are you liking it? The Castle Dark, I think, is what she's reading.
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Storm. Hi, Lee. Hi, everyone. In theory, I'm going to be starting a Murder Most Frothy by Cleo Coyle, number 4 in the coffee house.
Is that your skill? You say you swear you're going to start it?
Oh,
okay. She said in theory.
In
Yeah,
theory.
it looked like she has a little scout.
Yeah, she's like doing this.
Or something. Oh, it's a process.
Cross her fingers, yeah.
Yeah. Really like it.
Well, it's because she said she was going to start it yesterday and she didn't.
Happens.
Shout out for Death in Castle Dark. Yeah, I have thoughts about Muddled Through, so once you read it, we can talk. There you
Trying to
go.
find it on audio, I can't, so I will have to. I'm gonna have to use the trick Cozy taught me yesterday. If there is a book on Kindle Unlimited, or you download a book to read on the Kindle app, you download the Alexa app, and you have Alexa read those books to you. You can also speed up the pace of it so she doesn't sound too robotic. At like even 1.5, she sounds pretty decent. So that is like a little hack to get through some of those KU books.
Wish I could figure out a way to get my Alexa on my Kindle Fire to read like my e-arcs to me.
Yeah, that's the problem is that they won't do the e-arcs. But yeah.
I was like, darn it.
I know the text to speech via Alexa. Everybody says it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Alexa, read my book to me, and it just turned on my Audibles and put Outlander on. I was like, well, thank you, but that's not the book I was talking about.
She's like, you need to be more
Starting this now.
Right.
Thank you for hosting me, Prince. Oh, you're welcome.
And sorry for everybody whose like little device went beep.
I'm hoping to be my first read my first cozy mystery this month.
Oh,
I had that plan last month, but it'll work for a readathon. Oh, excellent! Which one are you starting with, Tina?
Very nice.
It's good. I have that one. I think I may want to read this list. Meg, hi Meg. I'll be reading Summer Stalker by Nicole Helm. That is a intrigue novel.
Nice.
I can picture the cover in my head. It came out last summer, I think. Oh, stop it, comments. Oh, look.
I hate that when you're doing it, all of a sudden they go, and you're like, oh man.
Hi, Bookish Readers Retreat. Hello. Storm, the other
Hi.
welcome. That is Lee. Hello, welcome. Just starting Ignite by Melanie Harlow. Romance, I believe.
Yeah, sounds romance.
Oh, Mandy's going to stitch instead of read. I suppose you can stick around and do that, Mandy. I'll allow it. You could put in an audiobook, Mandy.
I was going to say that.
Reading The True Love Bookshop by Annie Raines. I love Annie Raines. Just received it today from the author. Oh, nice. It came at the perfect time. I'm just going to start a new book. Oh, she is such a fun author. She's a sweet author as well, if you're looking for a sweet romance. Mars's manga. It's a high school romance. They're 15 books, and they're in KU. Well, that's good to know. Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm reading Rivals at Love Creek, a special edition. Ooh. Who's the author for that one, Joe? I'm usually up on all the special editions. Happy Friday. Glad for the Sprints night. Glad I could be of assistance. Shivers Away, paranormal romance. I'm liking it more than the first time I read it. It's very slice of
I'm going
life.
to ask you a Harlequin question.
Ask away.
Did they not make pluses for very long, or is that like something?
I don't know what that is.
It says Harlequin Presents Plus.
Okay, so I think that they were just extra books. Like it wasn't like a line per se. It was like just an extra presents novel, maybe.
Because it says it's number 1607. So I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up now. What's the title?
It's called Mother of the Bride.
The old presents books are so funny in comparison to
Carol. I can't read it's got fancy writing. Mortimer? Carol Mortimer?
Carol Mortimer. Yep. Here she is. Carol Mortimer. Presents plus. Yeah, it's just a Harlequin Presents. Plus
well, my aunt who doesn't like Harlequins, this were in her box of books.
That's why she gave it away.
Right? I think it says like bear with. Yeah, I think it's just like maybe an extra long book. I'm not sure what those presents ones or those plus ones are. I've never seen one of those before. You guys are finding stuff that I never see. I'm like, what the heck, man?
Well, that's what I was like. Oh, what is this? It's a plus. I've never heard of plus.
Storm, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't recall stating that I was going to start reading this yesterday.
I think somewhere on my Discord, maybe there might have been.
She's like, I may have proof of that.
Should go quickly erase that real quick. So there's no evidence.
95 pages away from the middle of my fourth reading of It by Stephen King. Wow.
And the first time I was reading it in 2019.
Wow. That's like every year.
Yeah.
You must really, really like it. I've never read it. I have it right over there, but I've not read it.
Nope.
It's more intimidating than Outlander. It's like 45 hours or something. Wow. For a horror book, I'm just like not quite sure about it.
I mean, clowns versus sexy Highlanders. How is there even a comparison?
Exactly. There's not. Exactly.
I'm sorry. I don't care if they put him in a kilt. It doesn't make it the same.
Oh, no, that's a whole new thing. Clown and kilt.
Oh, that just ruined that one for me too. Guys, you can have text-to-speech on your fire, read your arcs. Really? Because, okay, so I've tried this, but if your arc is like not properly formatted, do you know what I mean? Like you're getting weird page breaks or numbers. It reads everything. And that's the problem. At least that's what I find with my arcs.
I cannot find text-to-speech on my fire. Anita, help me. I like looked everywhere on it, and I'm like, I don't get it. Where is it?
So you got to be in the Kindle app, right? Like you got to be like reading like the actual Kindle, right?
Okay.
And then if you tap, come on. If you tap so you get like, you're not gonna be able to see nothing. That bottom bar comes up.
Yeah.
Right? Is it going to give me the option? No, it's not. You pig.
I'm like,
I know how to do this. Okay, it helps if I'm actually in the Kindle app and not in the Gloss app.
There you go.
Step 1.
Step 1, right app.
Step 1, open up the correct app. Yeah, no, okay, so now I'm in the Kindle app. Let us, and there go the fireworks. That's lovely. So yeah, so tap. Come on. I hate this thing. There we go. So you tap, so you get like the line at the bottom, right? So it tells you like how far you're
dark. It went dark.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Let's do that. There we go.
Okay.
So, right?
Yeah.
At the very bottom, down on this side here,
yeah,
there's an actual like button that looks like a play button. And if you hit play and you turn your sound up. Are you going to play for me?
On our first reading sprint, I'm going to get my, and then I'm going
to play. No, try it out and see if you can get it to work. Because no, I'm telling you. So like tap in the center of your screen so the options come up when you're in the book. Like, you know, where you could change your font or whatever.
Yeah.
At the bottom on the right-hand side, I had to think about it. There's a little play button. So hit that. And then you can also change the, but it's got to be in the fire. Try it out and see if that works. We'll sprint in a couple of minutes. At my house, I refer to Alexa as her when talking to someone else. Finally reading Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. Is that the last?
That's
Twilight?
The one from Edward's perspective. Are you liking it, Stephanie? I didn't like Twilight enough to want to read that one.
I don't know what
Edward wasn't my favorite character anyway. So.
Oh, I didn't read any of them, so I'm going to be reading, but it'll work for the prompt. Read from a genre you don't normally read from. Oh, fantastic. Excellent. I love the friendship in it, and that's the reason I reread the book so much, even though I have over 800 books on my Kindle app on my app. I understand. You know, when you love a book, you love a book. Mm-hmm. Hello.
I never had a book that I could like read over and over, and I know like Lee's gonna be like, but I've read like Discovery of Witches like 3 times. I know she don't.
Listen, at least you didn't say Seekers like Jahara, who reads it every 2 weeks. So that's fine. 3 times is not bad.
Yeah.
I've read it like 3 times, but I've only read the other ones in the series like once, so I need to like read those. I need to catch up.
Oh, Jessica's gonna try out the Wheel app for July. I love doing the Wheel app.
I am too. I'm trying to get like enough audio selections and then enough of like the physical ebook or whatever it's selection so that I can do 2. I can get me an audiobook and then I can get me like a print book because there's so many that I want to read and they're all like most of them are print and I'm like I don't read print quick enough, so I need to balance it out with some audiobooks. And so
I know, and like all my books for the romance, retro romance are all print or ebook. There's none of them on audio, but I'm like, you know what? But I really want to read them, and I have to get to them. So
that's it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Melmac. BRB, I have some evidence to destroy. Love Carol Mortimer. Historical. And yes, that's right. She also writes historical. Thank you for the reminder, Susan. Cav, hello. This is a nice surprise. Canadian reading or Canada reading sprint. Yes, happy Canada Day. Any fellow Canadians out there? Why is my first thought Sexy Clowns from Dare by Harley LaRoe? There's something for everyone.
Right.
I read 60% of Outlander, and it took so long for me to get to that point. It was just I was just over it and did not want to continue anymore. Maybe one day I'll go back, but not anytime soon. That's fair. I know Outlander's not for everyone, and it's very violent. I can attest to that.
And it's very like historical. So like I mean,
very historical.
Even though it is romance, it's very historical, and I think.
But much like Gone with the Wind, my argument is yes, it's a romance, but it's not. It's also a fantasy. It's also a sci-fi. It's also a historical novel. It's like Gone with the Wind. Like Gone with the Wind is not a romance. No. I don't care what anybody says. Gone with the Wind is not a romance.
That's what I said. When I did my mid-year freak out, I used it for surprise, like one of the surprise ones, because I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did because I really didn't think I was going to like it. And I said, though, I don't think this is a romance. It's more like a historical fiction with a little romance in it.
Well, the hallmark of a romance novel is the happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There is no happily ever after in Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, it's historical fiction. It's a war book. It's a lot of other things.
It's the story of Scarlet.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like right from the time she's 16 until 27 husbands and 16 kids later, like whatever it was.
So true.
And she still don't get the right one.
Right? In our opinion, yes. Finished dinner, so I'll be reading for the first sprint. Excellent. We'll sprint in 2 minutes. I can't get NetGalley to go to my Kindle. I follow the instructions exactly and it never works. Maybe because they are ARCs? I don't know. I've never, luckily I don't have that problem. But now I'm noticing that Kindle is no longer going to be supporting Mobi files.
Oh, really?
So eARCs. It'll not eARCs. EPUB will be the new one because I do the send to Kindle, the email thing, and I did that, and I got an email bounce back saying as of August they're no longer supporting Mobi files. So I don't know. Stupid Kindle. You have to go to the reader settings to enable it. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I didn't do. What device do you use? I'm so far about 3 chapters in. More comment. I've been laid up with COVID. Oh, I'm so sorry. Getting any reading done. So I've got a few books to finish up from June. Not sure what I'm in the mood for to read, but we'll find something. Well, I hope you feel better soon. Yes, definitely feel better. And I hope you're on the mend. Books 9 times in 2 years. My favorite book 9 times in 2 years. What book?
That's a lot.
I want to know what book.
Yeah.
Love the Twilight Saga. Happy Canada Day. Thank you. To all the Canadians. Marine, The Lions on Fifth Avenue by Fiona Davis. I want to read that one. That's about the New York City Public Library.
Really?
Historical fiction, yes. My mom read it. She said it was really good. Really good. So shall we sprint till the top of the hour, everybody?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We will see you at 8 Eastern Standard. Happy reading, everybody. How was everybody's sprints?
Good. I got to 58% of death in Castle Done.
Nice. Nice.
So I got 33 pages done of Egg Drop Dead and made some popcorn.
Excellent. I made a coffee, and I'm another 25% of the way through the Campers and Criminals book. So I'm halfway done it now. I mean, I started it this morning. I'll finish this one before I go to bed. That's the beauty part about those ones. You know, they're so quick.
They're not that great, but they're entertaining and they're fast.
Yeah. I mean, you've read one, you've read them all. It's one of those.
And there's so many of them.
So yeah, that's the other thing too. There's like, Presley, could you please?
I have a question for you, Sarah.
What's up?
This is going to be a very random yet very specific question. Have you ever? This is work related for me. So, have you ever used parking bobbins when you're cross stitching?
No, I have not.
Okay. That's what I've been researching at work lately for a project I'm working on. So I was like, I'm all into this right now as far as that goes.
I have absolutely no idea what that is.
To be honest, I'm trying to think if I know what it is too. I think it's like, you know, you're stitching away and you place it down.
You work in like 4. So on the back of that, there would be like grids, and you work within like a 4-grid pattern, and you line up all of yours on the top and the bottom. You wind them up in a bobbin, and as you work on that section, you pull out the yarns you need.
Yes, I know exactly.
That's my non-cross stitcher explanation for somebody.
Yeah, no, and I do not, because the patterns I do are not that intricate.
Okay, so the ones that I did see seemed very like they were almost trying to like replicate works of art.
Yeah, like, you know, something from the ceiling of the 16th chapel or something like that. Yeah, these ludicrous the patterns that I do are nowhere near that intense. But I know Rainey from Rainy Day Reads, she's doing a very intense pattern, but I don't think she's using those either. But in case you're curious, you might want to reach out to her.
Okay. I was just curious if it was just like everybody be like, I don't know what that is. You know?
Yeah.
What is it?
Sounds way out of my league. What is it?
It's way out of my league too, so don't worry.
Can I ask can you share, what do you do?
It's already been on a vlog, so I don't care if anybody knows. I work for a company called The Beadsmith.
Okay.
And they basically do like jewelry making supplies. So like on a wholesale level. So if you were like a jewelry designer, you would buy from us.
Okay.
And with a lot of our supplies, not necessarily our beads, we've started putting them on Amazon. And I was tasked with making up descriptions and bullet points and titles for the Amazon listings.
For when they search them. Yes. Yes, I understand. Oh, interesting. That sounds much more fun than my job. Helping people declare bankruptcy.
That's a job that's not going to go out of business, though. So
I hate to say it, we've been so busy, and it breaks my heart a lot of the time. Some of the people I talk to are like, okay. Other people, it's like, you know, it's a circumstance and it's life, and that's what it is, especially with COVID and the recession.
It sounds like a stressful job too. So.
It can be very stressful, you know, but you do what you do, right? Recommend watching Outlander on TV. Oh, I would recommend watching Outlander on TV as well.
And because I've watched like a couple of seasons of Outlander on TV, I think it might be easier for me to get to the book because I can picture that Jamie is.
Plus, not to spoil it for anyone who has not read Outlander or watched the TV show, what happens at the end of season 1 was brutal. Like what happened to Jamie at the end of the first book was brutal. Reading it the first time without knowing, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then reading it the second time, you knew it was coming, right? You knew what was going to happen to him, and it's difficult, and it was even more difficult to watch.
I was going to say it's a little brutal in the show.
It's really brutal in the show. Yeah, it was hard. 27 Husbands. Yeah, Scarlet or 27 Husbands. Yes, it is a beautiful country, unless you're in downtown Toronto in certain areas.
And then you could be anywhere in the United States, you know?
You know?
Well, you know, I was watching like her vlog and stuff, and it's like, look, I said Canada just looks like the United States. Except it's
It does. Isn't it amazing?
like,
Just less Targets, less Trader Joe's.
but it's just funny because I mean you think it's a totally different country, but really it's not really that
Exactly
different
the same.
from here.
Yeah.
It's so similar that when you do see some differences, you're like, wait a minute, we're not in Kansas anymore type of thing, like the speed limits and some signs and stuff. You're like, wait, what is this?
Yeah. And it's funny because like I grew up watching The X-Files. It was my favorite television show, right? It was filmed in Vancouver. And there were scenes that as a Canadian you're watching going, that store's not around in the US. Like they were standing outside, it was like a fabric land. And I'm like, that is not a US store. Or you'd see a Canadian postal box, right?
There you go.
And I'm like, yeah, But I remember reading one time my dad was telling me because he worked downtown. They were filming a TV show in the downtown core. And he says they had to dirty the streets to make it look like New York. Because Toronto was so clean, like in comparison. And I'm like, that's so Canadian.
And they're probably out there going, ew, I got to put this on the ground.
Yeah, like, ew.
So true.
Just joined finishing by the book. Excellent. Thank you for joining. Took my spin. First book for July is my Conan Only by Susanna Nix. It's a romance. I think I have that book. It looks super, super cute. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it, Jessica. My favorite book is Innocence Defined by Lainey Reese. Brother's best friend romance.
Nice.
Interesting. I do like that trope. You can still use Mobi files you sideload like drag and drop on the Kindle and not the ones that you email. Okay. Good to know. I looked up Gone with the Wind on Amazon. The Kindle book is 60 cents, but 70% off.
I saw that whenever I was like, wow, they really must like want somebody to get that one. Here you go, take it. Just
Right.
Just take it. I still need to watch the movie though. I haven't made time to do that. I need to watch the movie.
Oh, well, it's a if you made the time to read the book.
I know.
A lot less of the movie.
But the movie is a 4-hour commitment.
Well, at least with the movie, I can if I leave it in my DVD player, I can shut it off and then come back later and then turn it back on.
Well, I was gonna say it literally has an intermission.
Oh, does it have? Okay.
Yeah, it's like at the halfway point, it literally looks like an intermission, and then you come back and it's part 2. So you can always do it that way. Thanks everyone for the well wishes. I'm getting there slowly. Yeah, I can imagine. 2022, you'll no longer be able to send Mobi files to your Kindle by sending Kindle email. I'm assuming you can still download the book and drag and drop it into the Kindle's books folder. You'll no longer be able to send them. Okay. Guess I'll be using my Kobo a lot more.
There you go.
Yep. Hope you'll still be able to do Mobi files by dragging it from folder to book. Yeah, I've never sideloaded to a Kindle before, so.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's so much easier just to send. I don't know why they're getting rid of that.
I know.
Make things harder on people.
Well, yeah, let's just change everything that we've been doing for the past decade. Just for funsies. Well, from what my husband read, it's like they'll still work like the files you currently have on your Kindle. The Mobi files, they'll work. But if they bring out any new features they won't work with those new features.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's fine. There may be some spam here. Oh,
I didn't see anything.
Yeah,
no,
I didn't see anything.
But thanks. Thank you for the heads up just in case. I appreciate that. No big deal. Just bring it to your attention. Appreciate it. 800 something books that I don't want to have to. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. My husband has a lot too. No spam from me. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was stitching and listening. Hi, Storm. Michelle Lindo Rice, author of Rivals at Love Creek. Very good so far. Ooh, Rivals at Love Creek. Oh, that's a special edition novel, isn't it, Joe? Yeah, because you were saying
she was reading one. You want to know
that's right. That's right. Yes. And now I can see the cover. It's a couple sitting on a fallen tree branch. It's really cute. Made it to 64%. Great job.
I
49.
just have to say that the fact that she can remember what the covers of like all
I
those.
know, right? She's like, on a fallen tree branch.
Yeah.
Well, the part when you said a couple, I'm like, all right, come on, anybody could say
Yeah,
that.
that could have been anybody.
Yeah, and that could be anyone, but on the tree branch, okay, that's a little bit more descriptive. It's like, okay.
It used to be because I didn't keep lists and stuff of the books that I had to remember the covers. Like, what books did I own? And now I have so many I can't even do that anymore. But for the newer ones, I tend to remember them more, especially if it's a memorable cover to me, and that one's just so cute. Made it to 118 pages in Death in Castle Dark. Excellent. Presley is the star. He can hog this. He's fat enough to do so. My mom wanted to get him a new cat tower, cat condo, whatever you want to call it. So she looks it up on Amazon, and literally the one that she got, it says it's for like overweight cats. And he was supposed to have a vet appointment on Monday. He's not sick, but she's always just taken her cats in to get them their shots and stuff. And I've always said to her, Mom, I'm like, you're on a limited budget. They don't go outside. So why spend the money?
Right.
You know, save the money in case they do get sick, right?
Yeah.
So she canceled the appointment, and we said to him, Presley, you won't be fat shamed at the vet now.
You want us to go on a diet.
Oh, he's 30 pounds. He's huge. He's massive. Like, massive. Aren't you, Press? You going to say hi? Of course you're not going to look in the camera, you weirdo. Here's the face. Here's the face. Yes, he's a sweetheart. Yes, laid out. Thank you. 31% done. Great job. Started my first retro read, Rose Cottage by Mary Stewart. My writing styles have changed. So much description. First 4 pages were just setting.
Yeah, I have not read Mary Stewart. I'm really curious about her. I actually found one of hers out in the wild while I was thrifting. I was like, oh, look, I got one. But I haven't read it yet.
Oh, the bobbins. Some people use them for cut. That's where I know it from. Thank you, Mandy. Presley, could you sit? No one wants to see your behind. Thank you.
Look at the little tail wiggle.
No. Yes, you're adorable. I know. Yeah, no, and color work's something I don't do in knitting either, so I would have never used them for that.
There you go.
I got about 12 pages read of my Conan only. Excellent. I think Rainey is on here to ask. At least I saw her. Yes, Rainey was on here. Cheryl. Used to be Cheryl. Read and knit with Cheryl. Hey, welcome, Cheryl.
Hello.
My friend out from British Columbia. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Good Lord Almighty. Happy Canada Day. It's too hot for St. Patrick's Day. Ow, your cheeks. Will you stop biting me? Read 18 pages. Great job. Hello to Cheryl. 12 pages of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, interesting. We're getting all kinds of different books here today, aren't we? Oh, comments, really. For sure, I'll let you know. Thank you, Jessica. Headed to see Mr. Malcolm's List. New York City tonight. Haven't read the book. I'm not familiar with that book.
Yeah, I've been seeing it advertised. I guess I didn't know it was out in theaters. I thought maybe it was something that was like coming to like Prime or something. I don't know. Every time you're on Amazon, I see it up at the top. It advertises a movie. And I know it was based on a book. I haven't read the book though.
What's it about, Lee? Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. It is a historical fiction romance.
Ooh.
Honestly, it's funny because the cover that they're showing here kind of reminds me of the last vlog I watched of yours, or whatever video of yours. You showed the UK cover because you didn't like the
Yeah.
That the North American cover is the one that pops up here. So I'm like, oh, she wouldn't like this one.
I'm such a book cover snob that even if I digitally,
I was the same when you were showing those covers. I was like, oh, I would go with the other cover too. That was
it was just so bright and so in your face, but that's just very North American, I think. You know,
this one is not quite as bad.
It's like I said, but even like the colors are kind of like.
But I don't think the colors go together.
Exactly.
I need to look this up now.
It's just meh.
They've got the movie cover. It's not quite too.
Oh, and see, I'm not a fan of movie covers.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Oh, okay. So it's purple with the
Red and pink.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone.
She's like, wait, I read this one.
No, is Jamie in this? The cast of the romantic comedy the guy who plays Jamie in Outlander is in it.
Ah, okay.
All right, I need to go see it. Sorry, I'm just gonna close the window. It's okay, Pressy.
Oh, yeah, the fireworks.
It's okay. It's okay, Presley. It's okay. I know. It's very loud, Booms. Very loud. Poor guy. Our other cat will probably be under the couch downstairs. I didn't read, was watching YouTube videos.
I know how that goes.
I'd like to think that in an alternate reality somewhere, I read about 20 pages or so. Yes, I feel you. 100%. I was doing one the other day, and CS from BookFunnel said you can re-download them in EPUB. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Except you can't put EPUBs on your Kindle, so then
No, that they are supporting it now because I tried it.
Are they?
But I'm so weird that I don't like it because it doesn't show the covers. And I don't know, but that makes something that I see people who show pictures of what's on your Kindle, and the ones that you download from NetGalley, and it's it doesn't show the cover. I don't know why that bothers me, but it bothers me. That's my weird thing. I want to see the cover. The Harlequin I got is by Roxanne Rustland. Rustland. Never heard of her, but it looked interesting.
Oh, I know her. I don't know what she does now, but I know she used to write Christian romantic suspense, I think. Maybe for love inspired or something.
She has written for did you drool, Presley? She writes a lot of she does. She writes for the Love Inspired line. So Christian or inspirational. Absolutely. Excellent. I don't know why her name made me
There you go. Got it.
Good job, alternate universe. I love it. Now we can have imaginary page count. Why not? Oh, yes, I'm back. Hi, Rainey.
Rainey, the question to you then is, do you use parking bobbins when you're cross-stitching? That's my question.
That is
very weird question in here, but
You know what? Hey, no weird questions.
It's learning time. We learned something.
Right?
I didn't even know what a parking bobbin was before. So.
Right? Now, if it ever comes up on Jeopardy, you got
I got it.
I got it.
Yeah, today I was learning about the difference between divider calipers and compass calipers. I'm filled with useless information. So it's
Well, see, this way we're learning things, and then I can tell, my dad, I was learning things while I was on live, okay?
That's right.
It was educational.
They're mindless. Wasn't just mindless. Yes, happy Canada Day. Come on.
Well, that's a name, Cat Dancer.
Right? Yeah. How do you find the UK covers? Okay, for me, when I go on Goodreads, if you click on the book, if you hover over the book cover, it comes up saying alternate editions. And if you click on that, then it shows you a ton of different covers. And that's usually how I find them. Or sometimes if I look at Book Depository.
Yeah, on Goodreads, I know you can go down below and it says all editions or whatever. And you click that
too. That's how you can get there as well. Correct. Yeah. Thought it was coming from my phone. Yeah, sorry for the fireworks noise, everybody. Yeah, somebody started them here this afternoon at noon. I guess they were testing them. I don't know.
It's you can't even see them. It's the daytime.
I know, but oh, is this going to explode? Okay, it did. Great. Now it's done. Now I hope the other ones do too, Well, I'm going to listen to a cozy on audio and knit. I started knitting a cowl me maybe dress. Don't know which cozy. Let us know what you decide to pick. Yes. Does suck.
Mhm.
Fireworks until 2 a.m. is not fun. Luckily, I was off work today. That's good.
I'm not looking forward to this weekend because my dog is very afraid of them, and so all she'll do is shake the whole night while they're going. So then I can't sleep because I'm like hugging on her, like it's okay.
I know. They said August 1st for the Moby files. No, Rainey does not, but she's intrigued by them, so she knows what they are.
Okay.
There you go.
Are knowing about them. Okay.
Still, though, apparently people don't care that people are sleeping or need to work. No, people do not.
No consideration.
No consideration
Well,
anymore.
and I live out in the country where there's no ordinance here, so they can just go as long as they want. In town, like they have to have them off by a certain time, but here they don't.
Well, there's an ordinance. I was looking it up because I was curious, and it's like you can't go after 11 o'clock at night, and the only 2 times in the year that you're allowed to set off fireworks is on Victoria Day, Memorial Day to the States, and Canada Day. But yet we have people set them off like on Halloween, on Christmas, on New Year's. And I'm like, why aren't they like policing this? The thing is, you're setting it off from your backyard.
Right.
Pretty sure they can find you. Like,
Exactly.
Just follow the bright. Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's subtle and you're like slipping $5 out of someone's wallet. You're setting off fireworks.
It's been really dry here, so, and I know some other places that I don't even know if they're going to allow them to do fireworks. So.
But then there's always those stupid people that don't care. They're not thinking about safety, and they're still going to do them anyway. And that's where it gets really dangerous. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and see, we live out here in the country. There's a lot of like hay places that people do, like, so I mean it's very dry, so you get that and there goes their hay, just like
absolutely I can remember being a kid and my parents used to do it. Like they'd have friends over and all of us kids would literally sit here in the backyard and they'd set them off in our we had a sandbox. Dad would use the sandbox to set them off, but we had an old wooden swing set, and I just have a distinct memory of the one firework that would spin. Like you put it on a wall, and it would spin. Dad would nail that to the wooden. So what was safety when we were young? What was that even? What was it? It was the 80s. It was the 90s.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. Thanks for how to find. Oh, you're welcome. They really want to watch their money burn. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. I don't know the differences in Harlequin books. I just saw 2 cute doggos on the cover, and I thought, yep, this is it. It was 25% off. So there you go. Hey, I see no better way than to pick a book.
Most of the books that I pick up when I'm thrifting is because I think the cover is cool. Then whenever I show people on a book haul and I like look at the back, I read like a little tagline or a little part. I was like, oh, this sounds really good.
Yeah. You're just as surprised as everybody else. We will sprint again in a couple minutes, everybody. Decide on Cockatiels at 7 by Donna Andrews. I feel like I'm always reading this series on sprints. It's your sprint series read. That is fine.
Well, it is a good one for sprints because it's a long one, so you'll always have some.
Right?
There you go.
Our dogs are coming in all day on Monday. They don't care about fireworks, but they love cuddles. Aw.
There you go.
Pets get spooked so bad. My mom's dog hides under the bed with the loud noises. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Always worry that someone will start a fire. Yep, that's a concern. I love my dad too. He was the best. I made it here. One of my coworkers' uncles lost his. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, they are dangerous people. Dangerous. I've never read a book by Barbara Cartland, so I'm gonna try one by her for the romance readathon. She's an old school author. She's an OG.
I have a whole bunch of hers too. I was trying to find some audiobooks of her books because I was like, I want to try one. I need an audio.
Desperately trying for audio.
And Scribd had some, so.
Oh, yay! Even better. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, it happens in our state way too much every year. Yeah, you always hear about accidents with fireworks and stuff like that. It's just, And the fact that they can just sell them to whoever. Like there's like those trucks just outside the grocery stores here. Like, oh yeah, here, come on in, buy some fireworks.
Well, they
You
only
used to
became
hold
legal.
those Roman candles in your hand, and like let them just shoot off, and they could backfire and all that stuff. And
Oh
people
yeah.
used to do them all
Oh
the
yeah.
time.
And they only became legal here like a few years ago. So people are just acting like they've never seen a firework before, and it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I told my dad something. I can't remember where he goes. There's still places in the United States that are so old school. That they don't have, because I was like, you guys don't even have like all these restaurants, and he goes, what?
You'd think we'd have all this stuff. Like, I'm 30 minutes from New York City. You think we'd have all this stuff? We have nothing. We have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's because they think, oh, you could just go to New York City and get everything.
You get it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not right here.
But they should think, who wants to go to New York City?
Exactly. Exactly. That's my point. People are like, you must be there all the time. No, I'm absolutely not.
No.
You literally don't want to be surrounded by a million people at all times. So no, I don't.
Yeah, my friend Michelle lives like I think 15 minutes from New York, and she's in New Jersey, and she's like, if you ever come here, she goes, I'll take you over to New York, and you can see what it's like. Because I was like, I don't want to go by myself. I don't want to really. I just want to see it once. She's like,
yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see,
and see it.
not all the time.
Yeah.
Do all the big sites. You've seen it. Great. Now you can move on.
Exactly. Yeah. It's on my bucket list, but I would never want to. Same with Toronto. I wouldn't ever want to live in the downtown core. There's no way. And it's nowhere near as busy as New York City.
Yeah.
No. All right. We shall sprint until the top of the hour.
Perfect.
Yay. Happy reading, everybody. How did everybody do on their sprints?
I did pretty good. I got 40 pages done.
Nice.
I forgot to unmute. 69%.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I read 3 more pages in the Amish book. It's super cute. It's one of the ones for my my anticipated read vlog that's going to go up at the end of the month. It's actually for August. I'm changing things around a bit. So this one was just released today, and the cover of it is like, I'm usually not drawn to the Amish books, even though I do read them, but it's the couple walking together, and she's got this bright yellow umbrella. And I'm just like, for an Amish girl, like they're not flashy, you know, like, and I'm like, I was charmed. And it's the author's first book. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so good for the author. I mean, it's really cute. Like, she's very outgoing. Like, the female lead, she's, for an Amish girl, like, she's very outgoing. She speaks her mind. She likes to climb trees and dig in the dirt, and she doesn't want to settle down. And it's just, it's cute. So they're easy to read. That's why I like them.
Right.
The people who sell fireworks can make $30,000 a month. My Lord, I'm in the wrong business.
Mhm.
I often wonder that too, because like when we go into the town that's by us where we go and do most of our stuff, like there's fireworks stands everywhere. And I'm like, how do they make money when you got all these different fireworks stands? It
Yep.
doesn't seem like you would make that much.
It never ends because they're setting off fireworks for everything.
Right? Yeah. Oh, it's Friday.
Right. Exactly. So ridiculous.
And
It's the
people
same-
here have to go, Happy Canadian Day. Canada Day.
Right, yeah.
Go shoot
Stealing
them.
other
We're gonna
people's
celebrate
holidays.
anyway. Well, I feel the same at work when I'm like going through the whole bankruptcy process with someone. Of course, we need to know your income. And people tell me their income. I'm like, what do you do? Like, I talked to one older gentleman and his pension was like $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Pension. I'm like, what did you
Is he
do?
a
Who did
doctor
you
or
work
a
for?
lawyer or
No, it was for he worked for one of the electric companies up here. I'm like, I'm like, I went into the wrong damn business.
Right?
I dog sit. One of the 3 dogs doesn't like fireworks. Unluckily, it's the 80-pound dog. Aw.
Dad gets to deal with the big dog downstairs,
The big baby.
the big baby.
We have nothing here. A couple of chain stores. Yeah, Mandy's in Burlington. Right, Mandy?
Like Vermont.
Vermont.
But yeah,
Yes.
they've got a lot less out there too.
Yeah. New York City is fun to visit. Yes. I will get there one day. I'm on chapter 6 of Ignite. It's funny so far. Excellent. My book is getting spicy. Nice. That is always fun. You could say that some of the sparks were ignited. Well, definitely nice.
That reminds me that a lady at work who no one likes, let's just say that, she's very bossy. So she put a note in the ladies' room saying, please clean up after yourself and make sure you don't leave anything behind. No pun intended. But she misspelled intended. So I went in there with a red marker and added like the correct letters. And then like everybody came back and they're like, did you correct her mistake? I'm like, of course I did. If you're going to go in there and be a smartass about it and be wrong, I'm going to correct you. So,
Right? Oh, that's hilarious. Oh. Hello, Nicole. She says, hi, Sarah. I'm reading Ice Swan. That sounds like romance, maybe?
Maybe.
Melanie Harlow writes good books. Yes, I have heard that. I wish Matlock was still on Prime TV. That's an old show.
Yeah.
On page 136, great job. 15 pages of 7 days in June and made tea. Excellent. 82%. Excellent. Listened to 5.5 chapters. Fantastic. Read about 30 pages so far. Has the trope of love interest is the protagonist's brother's best friend. Yay! I don't know why I've always loved that trope, but I do. 45% done. 11%. What is the title, Sherry? The Amish book that I'm reading is called Their Make-Believe Match by Jackie Steff. Yes, Mandy, you are. Yes, I thought so. Do have to say I really like this book, but it's no library lovers.
What is? Come on.
You know. Thank you. I'll be here all day. Holly. Oh, hello, Elizabeth. Welcome. So yeah, I did my video today for like all the events in July. I'm like, what month is it? And one of the books I'm going to be reading from Retro is I actually pulled one of the Harlequin Gothics that I have off my shelf. And I bought it because it's one of the Gothics and I never see them, right? Mm-hmm. So just like you were saying earlier, Storm, how you buy the book because of the cover, then you read the back. So I'm reading the back on the thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Supposedly the main character's in a relationship with her half-brother. I'm like, what kind of flowers in the attic weirdness is this?
Right?
I'm like, now I really want to read this because I want to find out. Like, please don't let it be the half-brother.
Now, I'm curious, are any of the lines, do they like discontinue them or mix them into something else? Or?
Oh, yeah, they have ended so many different lines. Like, the American Romance line is gone. That Gothic line is long gone. I think you read a Regency one, Storm. Mm-hmm. That line ended. Oh, yeah. They'll lose them and then they'll bring new ones out. The Dare line, which was their erotic line, was gone. It only lasted a few years. I guess it depends on what the market wants, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. I was saying some of them, they don't last very long. So
well, I asked because the Plus book you just said was like what, 1607, number 1607. I'm like, all right, that seems like a lot of books.
But that was just for the Presents line. It wasn't Presents Plus. I think the Plus just means that maybe it's like an extra long book in the Presents line.
But it doesn't. It's not very long.
Maybe not. I don't know.
So
I once dated my brother's best friend. Didn't work out, but I like reminding my brother that I knew what he and his friend used to do for fun. My brother is younger than me, so it just would have been weird.
But the text is big.
Maybe that's what it means.
That's it. Yeah. The plus size text.
That's look. Well, I mean, from back when I was on the podcast, like talking to different authors and stuff like that, and learning a bit more that it's really weird the way the UK Mills and Boon does it compared to Harlequin. Like it'll be released only in the UK. And then it'll be released in North America under Harlequin as a completely different line or different series. Like there's been medicals that have been released in the UK that are released as Presents novels in North America. Like it's just...
Why confuse people though?
Right? You know?
Keep us on our toes.
and I feel bad because when I do a lot of my Harlequin videos, I know there's a lot of people in the UK or Australia who can't even get these books.
Right.
Like they can't get like the heartwarming books or a lot of the love inspired books, which surprises me. I mean, they're digital. Sell them digitally. Like
I don't understand that. Why not?
You know, it's
and
all the same thing.
It's not like back in the day where like we would never know if they had something. Information is everywhere. You know about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, absolutely. I mean, they'd make more money. So
right.
You would think that they would want to like put it out there for anybody to get.
Absolutely. And then selling certain things on shelves and not having things on shelves. Like here, you can't buy the heartwarming books in your store. You can't buy the historicals here, which surprises me because like
weird.
Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Like people love this stuff, but.
And like in here we've got like Western romances, right? The Harlequin Western romance and you guys don't have that, I don't think.
We don't have that. And those are the heartwarming.
That's so weird.
I know. I don't understand marketing. And we've talked to editors and the editors don't understand marketing.
Maybe the publishers are in firework industry, so they don't need the money because they're making $30,000 extra on the side.
Clearly.
That's what it is. That is what it is.
I have to wonder how many of them though, like, are like, oh, well, something about ebook only, because a lot of them are ebook only unless you buy them like from the Harlequin website, right? And I get that, but to me, like, I like ebooks because I go to the website because I know what I'm looking for. But the average reader, like, you know, like Jessica here, she's like, I don't even know where to start. She's going to go to the Harlequin website and be completely overwhelmed. Have no
Like,
clue. Where
there's
you can walk into
presents and there's
Walmart.
romantic suspense and there's heartwarming. There's which one to go?
Just watch one of my videos. It's fine. I'll explain all. I had one of my viewers ask me the other day, they want me to do an updated video on what the current lines for Harlequin are. So I'm going to do that, I think, in August. So, you know, I have so many attempted videos where I keep saying July instead of June and vice versa. Yep. What did I say earlier? It was St. Patrick's Day. So don't worry, it's fine. I'm from the Chicago suburbs and really have no desire to visit New York. I'm living in South Carolina now. Oh, nice. Beautiful. I started retro romance today. It's one of the Welcome to Tyler series. You love that series, Elizabeth. She always talks about it, and every time I see it in a thrift store, I think of her. I am reading Bad Girls of the Bible by Liz Curtis Higgs. It's good if ever looking for something that uses fictional stories to help you understand some of the women of the Bible. That is very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I read and enjoyed Welcome to the Tyler series back in the day. Yeah, it is an old series that Harlequin put in, an old series. Finished the first 2 chapters. Great job. Not sure what category romance is. All right. Harlequin. Harlequin books. Let me bring up a cover for you. You'll see these in your big box store, your Walmart, your grocery store. As soon as you see one, you're going to realize and not like and think, oh, that's what they're called. And I think a lot of people, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, that's what they are, kind of an idea. So let me just turn down the brightness on this just a little bit. So that's the one that I'm currently reading. Isn't it the cover just the most charming thing? So the category romance is a group of books that come out every month, and you get so many of them per line, as they call them. So there's like the Harlequin romance, you get 4. The intrigue books, there's 6. And it's not like it's a series, like you need to read all 6 of these books that came out. You can pick and choose between them. In all honesty, and not that I'm just like saying, you know, whatever, but I do have an introduction to category romance video on my channel.
Unless you're certain series and they have to be read in order. Because like that intrigue that I got and it stopped it. And I'm like, what? No, I have to read the next one and then the next one and to get, because it's just one. They're the one.
It's the married couple, right?
They're not married, but like I think it takes 4 books before they get together.
Oh, but that's what I mean, though. It's like one couple following.
Yeah, you're following one couple, so you have to read them in like kind of order to get like the whole story. Yeah,
because it's funny. Harlequin, like the what do you call it now? Their whatever, their team that I'm on that promotes stuff. They sent out the email every month, and they're like, "Here's the books that we're promoting for August." And one of those books was part of it, and I'm like, "How are you just having us promote one book when you need to have read the rest of the series?" Like,
yeah, that makes no sense.
I don't follow this at all.
Now, let me ask. This is not insulting. It's not meant to be insulting. Were like the books with like Fabio on the cover back in the day, or were those like Harlequin or no?
No, those were what you would know as bodice rippers.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Those were bodice rippers. Yeah. And not insulting at all. Not insulting at all.
Yeah, I don't want to just like, oh, everybody loves this series, and like, oh, like the Fabio books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The ones that look kind of like that. Not quite, but yeah.
Those were bodice rippers. Yes.
Okay, got it.
His hair is flowing in the breeze.
Yeah.
I continued a book I started in June. Vogue an Alien Romance by Ava Ross, and I made 56% on your Kindle. Excellent, very good. So category is not the same as genre. No, category is not the same as genre. One of the biggest hallmarks with category romance is their length. They're usually short, right around 200 pages. Do you have one handy, Storm? Because I don't have anything physical.
I have this plus one, so like I said, like it's short.
Yeah, they're short. They tend to be a lot shorter than
compared to that.
Well, compared to like, I mean, Brie
That's
and
like, I got two. Here we go.
yeah,
Two different kinds.
yeah. But Brie and I used to say it all the time. Why does a contemporary romance novel need to be almost 400 pages?
Right, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, and once you've read, and like the thing with the categories is that they get right to the story. Like it's about that couple. There's not a whole lot of extra stuff going on. So, yeah. Johanna Lindsay, Fabio.
I thought that was funny.
Annie, asking Sarah to explain category romances like asking Tiffany for cozy mystery recommendation. It's your favorite thing to talk about. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Elizabeth. I am an advocate for it big time, and I just think they don't get the love that they deserve.
You know, my aunt, she says, Harlequins, they're just all the same. And I said, well, you know, that's probably true. There are a lot that are quite alike, you know, each other. I mean, come on. It's been going since, what, 1940?
49.
49? So, yeah, I mean, you're bound to get
the formula of them.
Exactly, and that's it.
You're bound to get some that are a lot alike. But I could say the same for any genre.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been, you know, their genres have been around forever, you know, mysteries. There's not much mystery in a mystery because they're pretty much all the same.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's like this slight little differences or whatever. And
Well,
if you like them, you like them. So.
And that's the thing is, like, I've talked to so many authors or been fortunate enough to talk to so many authors that, you know, they know that the book has to be this long in length. They need to have the characters meet as soon as possible because you need to drive the plot. But like when I was fancying that I was going to start writing and I was looking up like tips and stuff for writing romances, everywhere that you look, there is a formula for writing a romance novel, not just a category, but a romance novel in general. Read any romance, like if I read any romance book now, I can see them hitting all those points. They have the first break, like the meet cute, and then they have their first breakup, and then they have the dark moment, and then it's like you hit those beats, just exactly as you said, Storm. Like that's how you write a book.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, it's like fantasy. I mean, you can write all these different worlds, but really the concept's still the same.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. And that's why we have favorite books and favorite tropes and favorite genres, and you know, because that's what we like. So Annie, if you like cozies, maybe try an intrigue, because they're sweet, so you're not getting the adult content. That's my thought. I still want to do that video with Tiffany and put our heads together and like do like romance to cozy recommendations. If you like this, you might like this.
I think that'd be great.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Mandy loves her. How many books did you read last year, Mandy? I think she read 700. Well, I mean, she reads her.
But now knowing that these books are pretty short, like I wasn't thinking they were. I was thinking, oh, they're these really long ones. So knowing that they're shorter kind of makes them less intimidating, and I would want to read more of them.
Yeah.
Especially when I read that Knockbridge Lane, that wasn't long at all, and I enjoyed that one.
Oh God, yeah, no.
Fireworks have started here, goody.
And you have to, you know, I think you have to, because there's some lines I haven't read, you know, and it's like, I wonder if I would like that or not. I haven't really read it, but you have to read each line to see which one. I know I like the intrigue and the romantic suspense because that's the ones that I've always read, but I haven't really read that many from any of the other lines, and I need to branch out.
There you go.
Well, there's one that I really want to read. Oh God, why can't I remember the title of it now? But it's a special edition, but it's about ghost hunters. Oh, and I'm like, oh, I'm so down for this. You know, like. So I am working on 6 different books. I've got 3 all the time. You're preaching to the choir. Yes, sounds good. Or even the Love Inspired or the Love Inspired Suspense. If you like the cozy mystery aspect of it, try the Love Inspired Suspense books. Those are really good. I know Elizabeth will agree.
I used to read a lot of the Love Inspired Suspense back in the day.
744 books, Mandy.
Wow.
Overachiever.
But when you read short ones, like she says, that's why she likes her novellas. I mean,
Yeah, I think a lot of them, and this is no shot on Mandy, I think a lot of them are like 30 pages, 40 pages. You know, those little quick little ones from Kindle Unlimited? She loves those, and she'll fly through like an entire series of
but
something.
that's like, reading is reading. If you like the little ones because it keeps you going and and stuff, that's fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we
Don't
were
rain on
joking
my
about
parade. That's what I always say. I like them. I like them.
That's right. Yeah, we were laughing last year because I think, like she said, she was 740 books, and I think I finished at 200 and something, but I was way over her page count
Right.
in
It
comparison.
all evens
Right?
out.
Yeah, yeah. But it was just interesting because it's the same as like when you're trying to lose weight, right? Yes, that number on the scale is one thing, but how do you actually, is it really definitive of what you've done?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yeah. But yeah. Love historical intrigue, suspense, cowboy romance, although it's Mills and Boon over here, although we still have the separate lines. Yeah. And it's interesting to look at what Mills and Boon has and what they call it over in the
Their
UK.
covers are so different too.
I know. And they sell them as bind-ups, as like 2-in-1.
Yeah, I've seen you doing those, like showing those before.
And I like those too. I'm like, yeah, I mean, to me, if it's a whole effort to save shelf space, do 2-in-1s.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to when you were talking about selling the ebooks all out throughout the world. Like, what's the difference? You're still making money off of it anyway. So, and even if you, and I mean, not that I think that you should do this, but even if you charged other countries more money, if they still wanted the book, then they would get it. But.
Absolutely. And I think I can't remember who I was talking to, somebody in the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the UK who's watching this, that I don't think you can buy off the Harlequin website if you're not in North America. It's an app that I had to download to my tablet to read the ebooks.
Right. So what's the difference? Just let everybody have it.
Exactly.
And I think it's strange though too, because there are authors from other countries that write for Harlequin, but they can't get the books there. That's kind of weird.
The Presents line, which is like their most iconic line, is actually, the editors are in London, England. So, because, I mean, when we were lucky enough to talk to Maisie Yates last year, she was saying when she got the call, as they all refer to it as the call, saying that your book's going to be published, it was some like 2 a.m. where she is in Oregon or something. And she knew it was the UK calling her to tell her that they were buying her book. And I'm like, wow. Averaging about 5,000 pages a month. Good for you. That is awesome. How did everybody do last month, by the way? It's the beginning. How'd you do reading wise?
I have to look.
I have a look.
Because I know we talked about this earlier last week, but
yeah, we talked about like our favorites and least favorites like on Monday, but I read some since then, so let's see what I got.
I finished off at 20 books. And I DNF'd a book right like the last day of the month.
Oh, wow.
That 4 Ways to Wear a Dress, DNF'd.
12 books, and the last one I DNF'd 50% through.
Good for you, though.
Not a great month for me.
Yeah, but 12 is 12. 12 is more than some people.
Yeah.
What did you DNF, Lee?
Yeah.
The Great Brain Robbery by P.G. Bell. It was a kid's book that one of my friends suggested to me. I never even got into the first one. The second one I had zero interest. I think, honestly, and I'm not trying to be mean, it was like a low budget Harry Potter type of idea.
Okay.
Like,
yeah,
she was an orphan. She was with her aunt and uncle. She joins the Postal Express, and they go on adventures to impossible places.
I think a lot of people like that one. That I think I've heard of that.
I didn't. And that was on my SAS list. It ruined my whole list. I had to like go make all these different changes.
I gotta change. I need to do an update on my SAS list. I was gonna do a video also. I was gonna separate it out my goals because I took some things off and added some things. Like,
I just did my like Q2 goals update video earlier.
I read 25 books.
good for you.
But I think most of them were probably audio. Yeah. I had 20 audiobooks, 3 ebooks, and 1 physical.
That's fine.
Most months, all of mine are audio.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
My
we all DNF'd a book, so
There you go.
my aunt, my dad's sister, just recently started watching my videos. She was asking me about it, and I mentioned it to her. So she found me on YouTube, and she's like, "Oh," and she now calls me all the time. Like, "Oh, blah blah blah," and very politely critiques.
Oh,
She does,
how nice
but
of
it's
her.
fine. It doesn't bother me. But she says, "How do you read all those books?" I said, "Audiobooks."
Yeah.
That's how I get through everything. So yeah, but yeah, no, I was reading The 4 Ways to Wear a Dress by Gillian Libby, I think is the author, and it was not what I was expecting. I was under the impression it was going to be like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, where these like friends all, and they did, but all the friends had already dealt with their stuff in their lives, and it was now like the last friend was dealing with this, and she got let go from her job. She was in marketing and then went to California, and then the whole book became about social media, like how to be an influencer and how important it was, and how, and I just thought, I don't care.
Right.
I literally didn't care, you know. And it happens after the pandemic too, so it's very much a dated book.
Mm.
I took my library books back to the library and got some more and everything, and I'm like, you can have that big chunky book that I'm not gonna read. Take it back.
Well, it's funny you guys even say that, because remember I had downloaded The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yes,
I was honest with myself this morning, and I just deleted it. It's not going to happen.
good for you.
Move on.
Good for you. Sometimes it's
I
like,
think you should start with some shorter classes.
But that's it. I'm just like, not going to
Work your way up to the big ones.
wait a minute, isn't Cat in the Hat a classic? I'm gonna start there.
Well, that was it. The 2 that I have read this year were children's classics, so it's like, it
Get
worked
some
out.
Dr. Seuss under your belt.
There you go.
Move your way up.
That's it. That's it.
That's what Rainey and I are gonna read Persuasion together this month. And I was looking, going, oh God, it's an Austen book. It's gonna be like God knows how many hours. And I looked it up. It's only a 9-hour long audiobook. I'm like, what is
my
this?
favorite.
For Austen? And she's like, oh yeah, it's like her shortest book. I'm like, this is fantastic.
It's my favorite. I love Captain Wentworth.
See, that's what everybody tells me. It's their favorite Austen. So there's my contribution.
His letter's so much better than Mr. Darcy's, in my opinion.
I just want to read Recipe for Persuasion, which is the only reason why I am reading.
Yeah, I need to try that series because I'm curious about this.
So good. It is so good, especially on audio. The narration of it is brilliant.
I'm reading Northanger Abbey as my
okay.
of the month. So.
Okay. I can't remember which one Rainey said she was reading. She was reading one. She was starting, and I'm like, oh, you got all the big books. She says, yeah, I think I'm over exerting myself.
That's my nod to Jane Austen July, because I always forget about it. And
I know.
Like, oh, yeah, okay. I can do that. I can fit that in. So.
It's like all the readathons this month. We've got the retro, we've got Lee's, we've got the Christmas in July one, and I'm like,
I know, and then I see so many other people doing other ones too, and I'm like, this is just too much. I can't.
I know.
I've already said I'm doing a special readathon in August, and it's going to be called Anything I Want August. And my only rule is I can't join any other readathons but my own.
There you go.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm co-hosting one in August. I think.
You know, every time I say I'm not going to join, and once somebody comes up with one, and I'm like, really? Really?
Okay, I think it's September, because Steve Donahue and I were having a discussion about this, because we were going to do a live show last night. And then I made a comment to him about, because it's like a romance readathon thing. I'm like, well, it's in September. He's like, it's in August. I'm like, pretty sure it's September. He's certain it's August. I'm certain it's September. We'll find out when I have more information.
There you go. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Go back and look at your notes, Steve.
I'm like, oh Lord. 17 books last month. That is fantastic. I loved The Great Brain Robbery.
Yeah, I looked that up because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know that's the Train to Impossible Places, which yeah, a lot of people like that series. Yeah. So yeah. So, but you know, a lot of people like the Keeper of the Lost City series too. So They're all like, "Oh, it's so full of action," and me and Sherry's like, "Where?
Yeah, I wasn't. So I'm like, I don't care what happens to these people. I just didn't.
Yeah, I want to try that series, but yeah.
I'm sure you'll love it then because it came highly recommended. I just wasn't for me. That was it. Thank you, Hannah. I agree. Just not.
I agree.
My whole month was bad last month. That's why I'm so about July right now. Like it's going to be different now.
Yeah, June was like, for me, when I went back, I'm like, not that I'm discounting, but I'm like, I only read 20 books. But then I realized, like, I had a week and a half where I was slumping badly. So, that takes a lot out of you,
Yeah, because there was one that you just read one book, didn't you?
Yeah, I finished the one book, and I'm like, that's not me.
It was a weird month.
I always start out the month thinking, man, it's already like the 11th, and I've only read this many books. And then by the end of the month, I'm like, where'd they all go? Where'd they all come from? Because
very similar.
That's what happens when you read a whole bunch at once, because then you start finishing them. And then it's like, there they are.
Well, when I was pulling the books out of my jar today, you watched the video, I like pulled out Wicked Beauty, and I'm like, no, I cannot read this book on coming off the heels of Electric Idol. I need a break from the Dark Olympus stuff.
Okay, did you like Electric Idol?
I gave it 3.5 stars. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as Neon Gods.
Well, I was gonna say, because I know I've heard some other people that didn't like that one. That's why I was wondering.
And I think for me, it's because I know the myth of Hades and Persephone so well that I knew those characters already. Whereas Eros and Psyche, I did not know. Plus the fact that this book made Aphrodite a witch. Like, she was like, chop off their heads. And I'm like, but she's the goddess of love and marriage. Like,
I was going to say, that's like a twist.
This doesn't, and it didn't sit well with me, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I still gave it 3.5 stars because it was still a good book, but I just wasn't as invested in it as I was with Neon Gods. And book 3, I think, is a menage book, which is really not my cup of tea. But I'll read it and see if I don't like it. I'm done with the series. I think there's only one more book anyway, so I gave it a shot.
You read the one you really wanted to because you like those characters. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's where, and she started off with the ones I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
Modern, so the moderns like the Presents, which is the chic, Prince Billionaire, historical, medical, desire, true love, the Sweet line, and the Heroes. That's what the intrigue is called, the Heroes line. I like the name of that one in the UK. Are you going to read the category romances you picked out at Christmas time? I'm trying to remember that now. You guys are better at my videos than I am.
I know you had one that you were like, does everybody want to read this Christmas book?
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. Yes. Okay. I'm not getting to it for the retro romance, because it's too new.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's
I'm going to
one I can remember.
December.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. To that one. Trying to decide when to start reading War and Peace.
That one's in my list of books, and I haven't used my jar yet, because every time I end up reading or we pick something together, or I picked an Austen book because I'm like, well, it's that just kind of picked it for me, and so I'm like, hey, I like this. So far, I haven't had to use the jar because that's where all the big books are.
Right? Serious things are going on.
But I'm like, I've read enough big books, like classic books. I think I'll probably be picking those ones out, and then we'll shake up the jar.
Yeah.
You can have veto power.
Yeah, veto power.
Oh, I can't read the writing on this one. All right, we're just going to throw it out.
Yeah. And that could very well be true, because I can't read my own writing half the time anyways.
Tell me about it. I used to have such nice writing until, technology.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Can you sit down, please, Burley Presley? I read 7, which is, for me, more than I normally do. I'm happy that I had a wider range. Thriller, middle grade, romance fiction. Nice.
That's nice, yeah.
That's awesome. My classic for July is The Three Musketeers, 700 pages.
Yeah, see, I want to try that one because I've heard it has a little bit more action type stuff in it than the Count of Monte Cristo did. So I'm kind of wanting to try The Three Musketeers.
I will eat the chocolate bar and I cheer you on.
Exactly.
Oh, come on, Lee. Come on.
No, I'll be happy to eat the candy as well, but I don't want to do not want to get involved.
Well, that one's in my jar, so it could be pulled out. I never know. Whenever I actually do the jar pulling thing.
Yeah, that is awesome, Nadine. What was that, Lee?
It was a half of a yawn.
Oh, no, somebody.
What was that, Lee?
What was that, Lee?
Was the book that I DNF'd? Is that what you're talking about? That was The Great Brain Robbery by P.G. Bell. It was part of the Train to Impossible Places series. If that's not what you meant, please let me know.
I read 18 full-length novels and 2 more Dr. Seuss books that we didn't get to in May. Awesome. Awesome, Elizabeth. Well, Elizabeth killed it in May. She read like a gazillion books.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also doing a Whatever I Want August. 5 of the 18 were print books. Good for you, Elizabeth.
I say that I'm going to do anything August or whatever it is, but we'll see how it comes by the
Let's
time.
be realistic, yeah. Once I made myself finish Jane Eyre and Harry Potter, I was flying through books. Yeah, for sure. Really, Mandy? Really? 59 books? I read 12. That is awesome. Great job.
Hey,
23.
Hannah, I don't know. Did you put like what you rated Jane Eyre in Mr. Francis? I don't know if I saw that or not. I was just curious what you thought of it. I know she finished it.
Anybody doing Christmas in July? It's in the Killing Time with Cozies group, right? That's who's running the Christmas in July?
Yeah,
or the
so.
Cozies in whatever?
Unless there's another readathon somewhere that we don't know about.
Yeah, the one that I'm familiar with is that one.
Yeah. I usually try to do a little bit of Christmas in July, even if I wasn't like trying like a readathon or anything. I usually find like a Christmas cozy or a Christmas romance or something, and I'm like, woof, Christmas in July.
I know that Cozy messaged me and she's like, for these categories, you can read a romance, but I'm pretty sure I went rogue and just did whatever the hell I wanted. So we
like it says cozy, but can we have a cozy romance?
If it says cozy, I picked a cozy. If it didn't say cozy, I went rogue.
It didn't specify mystery, so just said cozy.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I did too. The ones that specified cozy, I did cozy. The other ones can be anything.
Just like in her little Christmas in July, I put, this is my spot for my little placeholder, so whenever I finish a book, I can pop it in there.
There you go.
I have no clue what I'm going to. Yeah, I only have one book, I think, for the red and green on the cover, and it's a cozy.
Yeah, I think I like sometimes for read-alongs or readathons, excuse me, to like leave it open and just see what I finish and what I can slot in there. I feel it takes the pressure off sometimes, I think Katie Robert is planning 10 books in the God series, if allowed to publish. I'm sure I saw something on her Instagram or Twitter about her plan for the books. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there's a lot that she could do with that series. I just don't know if it's for me.
I hate that, when an author has like an idea and it's always up to the publisher.
Yeah.
I know.
Especially if it's a popular book and a series and people are into it. Like, go for it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she's going to have a problem with this one, though. It seems to be, everybody seems to be reading it. Getting tired. I'm going to say goodnight. See you soon. Oh, it is 20 to 10. We'll chat for another little bit and then probably sign off because I'm getting pretty tired myself. I had a busy day today. Carried over 3 books and then started 6 more print books this morning. Elizabeth.
Wow.
I don't feel so bad now,
I know. One of the Quilts of Love books start to finish today. See, that's why my goal, that's one of my goals tonight is I want to finish that first Campers book so I can start the month off with a finish.
Once I'll probably here's my books, spin the wheel for my print books. Okay, I'll be reading on that one, but then I'll be like, oh, but I want to read this one too. That's just how I am. I can't stick to something like that.
Oh, something shiny. That's why I end up at the library and I'm like, why are you standing here? What are you doing, you idiot? You don't need to be here.
Yeah, I got 7 books from the library today. So
I'm debating. I don't even know if my library's open tomorrow. I think it probably is. I have to take books back. Well, I'm already there.
Right.
So actually, I did buy one of those, so that doesn't count. It was 50 cents. It's a Bridgerton book.
Ooh.
When He Was Wicked.
That is the 5th or 6th book, I think. I think it's the 6th book.
It was on their cart, and I go, "Oh, look, Bridgerton books on the cart."
I just found out, like, the last time I was at my library, I was looking for I was grabbing one of my books that I had on hold, and right beside it, there's this little area that says free books. I'm like, why have I never noticed this before? They only had, like, a half a dozen books on that shelf, but I guess as they pull things or whatever, and there was a Harlequin, so I grabbed it. I'm like, all right, I'll take this home with me.
Yeah,
I wanted to say to the librarians, call me.
Right. This Bridgerton, though, is the movie tie-in edition, but yeah. I was gonna say, I know you're like, "Ooh, I don't like those covers."
I don't.
I kept trying to wait for a to find it out in the wild, when thrifting, but I can't ever seem to find any. It's just like everybody wants to keep their Bridgerton books, evidently.
When He Was Wicked, I think, was my first Bridgerton, because I didn't start at book 1. I just picked that one up at random. And I think it was because of the cover originally, because I think the male lead is Scottish, and the cover is like this gorgeous bedroom, like the edition that I had. And then there was the plaid draped over the bed, and it's just a gorgeous cover. But yeah, I love those Bridgerton books.
I did get The Duke and I, because I could get it on audio, and so I was like, well, let's see. I was really surprised, actually, that my library actually had it, because they usually never have the first in series in anything.
Oh, really?
And they actually have a romance, I was like, wow, there's a romance.
That's awesome. I guess because of the popularity.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It must be, because I think it's the movie tie-in edition, too.
But the narration on the Bridgerton books is fantastic. I think it's Simon. Is it? No. Is it a guy who narrates them? I can't remember. But no, they're really, really good on audio. I like them.
Because I keep saying I'm going to.
I keep saying, if you like Bridgerton, drives me crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
I said I keep saying I'm going to read Duke and I, one of these days, because I want to watch the show. But I keep waiting to find the book somewhere. And I'm like, this wasn't working. Let's see if the library's got it.
I'm surprised that you're not finding it in thrift stores.
Yeah.
Because people are buying them and then reading it and being like, oh, okay. Like the show is a lot spicier than the book. But the first book doesn't differ that much from the show, at least in my opinion.
And if they watched the show first and then they went back to it, they're probably like, whoa, this is like totally different.
Not what I was expecting. Whereas book 2 is a vast difference from the book.
Yes, because that's what made people mad.
I actually wasn't mad at it. I liked the direction that it went. But if you were
one of the only ones that I've seen.
My thing with it is that I understand why they did it, because the plot line for book 1 and book 2 are very similar. They're caught in a compromising position and they have to get married. That's the driving force to why the couples get married. You can't do that in season 1 to do it again in season 2.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it just didn't make sense, right?
It's okay for romance readers. They don't mind it, but watchers,
no,
probably.
Exactly. They want something different. But my issue with it is that for season 3, they're skipping over book 3 and they're going right to book 4. That's what's making me angry now.
Are they going to put book 3 in with it? I wonder, because that's just kind of weird.
I know, and I think that's going to get. And then I have a feeling that the show's just going to end after that, because Netflix just ends things for no reason.
Mm-hmm. But then, it's like when Hallmark did the Roti Garden ones, or Aurora Tea Garden or whatever. Like, started the first movie is the second book, and it's like, what?
So weird.
This doesn't make any sense. Well, my biggest issue with Bridgerton was, if you've read the books, but if you've seen the show, the biggest plot point is revealed at the end of the first season. It's not revealed until book 4. And I think that really got a lot of fans up in arms, because they put so much into, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't dislike it, but I didn't love it. Let's put it that way. You have to do something.
I can tell you what this is. This is my Poltergeist monitor that every once in a while, and it hasn't happened in a long time, will just go staticky and start making these crazy noises at me. So I have to turn it off. One, so I don't get sucked into the monitor, as we all know would happen. And two, to make it stop making that static noise. And it happened. It hasn't been a long time, and it just scared me. So that's what happened.
So you have a jump scare monitor.
Yeah. I was like, oh no.
I think I did. Oh, she gave it 4 stars. And that's your favorite, isn't it, Storm Jane Eyre? I love it.
If it will ever upload, I know.
Yeah, that's the thing. In April, I went back to college, and my reading is almost nothing now. I went from 20.
Well, congrats on going back to college.
Yeah, no, that is freaking awesome. I had a terrible audio month in June. I think I DNF'd something like 12 books. I had Kindle Unlimited for most of the month. The 5 books I read on my Kindle are all really good. Well, that's good. At least you got some good books in, but yeah. DNFing, man, life is too short. Oh, there's the rest of it. I'm back to college in April. Went from 20 plus books a month down to 5 if I'm lucky. You're still reading 5 books and you're doing college, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you.
All that college stuff you have to read too.
Right?
Right? At least a book a week, so you're not doing bad at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, for August, I've been doing ARC August the past couple of years. I think that's the one thing I'm really, really going to focus on.
I need to because somebody keeps talking about these like really cool books, and then I go and like find them on NetGalley.
Wonder who that is.
No clue. I've even got my husband trained now. He was on NetGalley last night. He's like, "Did you see these Christmas cowboy books?" I'm like, "Yeah, I already requested them."
Oh my god.
Garrett's like, "I just recognize names."
I don't even go down that rabbit hole because I see the addiction that it is for everyone else. I'm like, nope, don't even do it.
We went thrifting one time with one of my my dad's friends, the lady friends, and we were there, and I was somewhere else. And he goes, "There's books over here." I was like, "See, she knows. She's good."
See? She's on the lookout for you.
Yeah.
Actually, Garrett makes it into the vlog this time. I actually got him into the vlog. Yeah. Yeah, we were at the thrift store, and he's talking to me. I'm like, and he turns around and goes, "Oh, you found the books. Okay." But there was nothing good. I have to take a book back and get one. I put 4 of the Hat Shop books on hold, getting ready for a good series binge. That's awesome.
All Hannah.
I can't read series out of order. No, you can't, can you, Mandy?
I can't either. Kindred spirits.
That's right. I'm pretty sure Benedict will be season 4, so I'm looking forward to the next season. Yeah, it is Colin's story is season 3. They're doing it out of order, but that's fine. I'm not going to complain, even though Benedict's story is my favorite because it's a Cinderella retelling. I have NetGalley, and I have just 2 books. Just 2. They allow you to have so few.
See, everybody else would be like, there's a minimum, because I think go till you can't stop.
Yeah. Until they start denying you all the time. Yeah, no, I gotta do something about NetGalley. It's just a horror show. I know Brie mentioned to me a couple weeks ago, she's like, she spent like half of a Saturday just writing like BS reviews for books on NetGalley that she's never getting to, that she requested like years ago, just to clean them up. Like, oh my god. That's bad. So anyway, trying to keep it to yeah, you're very smart. You're very smart. I am the idiot.
Yeah, you know, when I first got NetGalley, it was like, oh, look at all these pretties. Click, 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 click. And whenever you're first on there, you know, you don't get automatically approved for things, you know, like you are afterwards. And so I thought, well, I probably won't get half of them. And then it's like approved. And I'm like, wait, no.
Now you've dug a hole.
Yeah, it's like, why are you
I haven't been able to dig out of it since.
Why are you trusting me with these?
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Because I feel like exactly that's it. They're giving you guys this responsibility. You're going to put, and everybody I see on the other end is like, why would you trust me? I'm totally irresponsible. I'm not going to get to these anytime soon.
Like when I started reviewing for Tantor Audio or whatever, they send me this whole list of things, and it's like, well, how many can I get? And they're like, well, you know, whatever you want. And I'm like, no, give me a limit.
Cut me off. Right?
It's like going to the buffet.
I have now like toned myself down, but before it was like, there's like this list of, you know, I want all these, please.
Wow.
But it was like, because they were like cozy mysteries and things like that, you know, and it's like, you know, then now it's like I pick and choose this like favorite series and things like that. And a lot of times if I see it's going to be on Tantor Audio, most likely it's going to be on Hoopla later. So I'm like, we'll just not get all those. Just write it on a piece of paper. That one looks good. Look on Hoopla later.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because yeah, I had like so many. And I was like, I never dug myself a hole for that one too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, I'm reading a lot more of my NetGalley stuff than I was before. I'm really trying to focus a lot more on it, even if it's like reading it on audio or something, but just getting to it and getting it reviewed, you know? So,
Yeah.
but
yeah, I know you like look at all mine, gather them up, put them in a jar, kind of like you do, like do a little spin a wheel or something. And it's like, okay, these two are the ones. Cause yeah, I've got some, they go back farther than yours.
which is the sad, you know, like I think my oldest one is 2020, I think is my oldest, but I'm at 4 digits for the number of NetGalley books I have.
I think you need to start adding more to the TBR jar at that point.
What's the line from Jaws? I think I need a bigger jar.
Exactly.
I don't think I have that many. I have to check now. I don't know.
She's like, I have to look. Yeah, I wish
the ARC August sounds like that would be perfect for both.
I'm just gonna need to call my manager and be like, okay, I'm gonna start like banking vacation time now because I'll be off until September.
I feel like, no, you don't understand. I have a reading commitment that I need.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I don't get paid for this.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, I have 475.
Okay, that's not
well.
horrible.
I think that Hannah's doing great with 2.
Right?
She kept it very manageable.
And my oldest one on here that I never got to is from 2011.
Wait, aren't you supposed? Wait, let me just clarify. Aren't you supposed to read these before they're published and give a review so they hype up people to read the book?
Supposed to be so. Yeah, one would think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Just want to be sure how it works.
Yet, I still get auto approved for things like Harlequin and Kensington.
They're enablers.
They are.
Yep.
My feedback ratio is 56%.
Oh, I'm not even going to tell you what mine is.
Okay, I don't feel so bad if mine's better than yours.
I'm going to say 32.
So I have been approved for 1,968 books. I have left feedback for 533. You guys can do the math. Oh, hush, Presley. Don't judge me. Everyone else. I would judge myself. He looked over his shoulder and went, like this.
You should let him know you didn't fat shame him, so there's no reason that he
I have been a member since 2010, so that's how big my hole got dug.
I've been since 2014. But like as soon as I got approved for like Harlequin and Kensington, it was just like all bets are off.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know? And I do my best. I have to work full time.
Right.
It's like if we could just make reading like a full-time job. And you know, it's like I wonder, don't publishers look at your feedback ratio? They keep letting me have them.
But the thing is that somebody else pointed out to me, actually, I think it was Steph from Steph's Romance Book Talk, and I've been doing this ever since, is that, you know, when you're like about me section, right? I actually update mine every month. And I'm like, as of the 1st of July, 2022, I have this many subscribers on YouTube, roughly. I post videos X number of times a week because that's my primary. And they look at that. The other thing they look at is, yes, you've been approved for a lot of them and your feedback ratio might be this, but you've also left this many reviews. So it's not like, do you know what I mean? It's not like you've been given 4 books and you've only reviewed 1 or something like that. So there's a lot of different things that they look at.
Well, I was going to ask if maybe they do look at things like your YouTube count or something like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my understanding from what somebody told her. So
And now that they have this, they used to not have that, like where you could put, I'm not reviewing this, or I'm not, or whatever.
But that doesn't improve your
but you can knock them off, so I don't have to look at them.
Exactly.
But so I have done that with a bunch because I didn't download them, so I no longer could like get them, so I like knocked them off.
Yeah. No, you can't delete the books. Well, I guess that would be deleting the books, is if you just said, I'm not going to review this one. That would be like deleting the books.
Because I looked below my feedback ratio, it says that I have been approved for 1,258, and I've sent feedback on 750.
See, that is awesome.
So,
yeah. No, that's awesome. And that's what I was saying. Like my friend, and I've heard of a lot of people who will do that. Like when they start to get overwhelmed on NetGalleys, they will go on for books that they know they're not going to read and just leave a BS review. I liked it. It was great. Blah, blah, blah.
I see that a lot. Like people will just like literally copy and paste the plot and just put it in there and then go, oh, NetGalley gave me this for an honest review or whatever. It's like, oh, but you didn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
But now I see why.
That's what it is.
Okay.
And I don't do that. I don't do that. Like,
and there's been times when I forgot to go back and do a review. I read it, then I forgot to review it, and I look at Goodreads and I forgot to put it there. So I'm like, damn, it's been too long. I did really like this whenever I read it.
I throw stuff in there. This is the way that this is my own justification to myself. So yes, like you said, Lee, the whole point is to review the book beforehand so we can get up hype, blah, blah, blah. But let's say it's been 2 years.
Which clearly
people have forgotten about the book. Oh, wait. Now someone's talking about this book and hyping it up that came out 2 years ago.
That's true. There's your thought process.
I'm pushing it after the fact.
Clearly it works. I mean, I had to wonder about like the book years, because I talked about it so much during February when I absolutely loved it and everything. And I'm reading it. I had all these and stuff, and I'm like, they're probably on the influx of years.
True. That's true.
And that was from like 1970, but all of a sudden everybody wants to read years.
And to be fair, I honestly also think part of the thing with NetGalley is that a lot of the people who are receiving these books are on social media. So you see it all the time. Like Bree posts all the time. She received this book from whoever the publisher is. She'll post a picture of it on her Instagram saying, thank you for sending it to me. She doesn't get to it, but she still put it out in the universe.
Well, I get like, if somebody's going to send me like an actual physical art, because I do a lot of Simon & Schuster, and they'll be like, for your review consideration or post or an Instagram or whatever. And you'll like be okay. And then they'll like, whenever I get it, they're like, so what do you think? Are you going to, going to post about it or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, you send them a link to like your Instagram or something, or you can post about it. And they're like, cool. And then that's it.
Now that you guys are saying this, I actually feel totally bad because somebody did send me a free audiobook because they wanted a review on it. And I haven't even thought about getting to this book at all. I was like, oh, thanks. I'm not even interested, whatever.
But you can say, like, if it's an unsolicited request, in my opinion, you have no...
Yeah, they were just like, here, can we send you this link for a free audiobook for the book, and then maybe you could review it. And I said, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like I didn't seek them out; they just said
exactly.
it. So I was like,
it was
sure.
Unsolicited. Yeah, no. In my opinion, you don't owe them anything.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I guess I might read it, but I mean, really, it's about people hiking through Kathmandu. I'm not that interested, but whatever. I was like, oh, free audiobook, whatever,
Right? Yeah, and that's the appeal at NetGalley at the beginning is the free stuff, right? Harlequin Books now founded in 1949 in Canada as a small printer, packager, and distributor of books. Elizabeth, I have no plans to even start a NetGalley account. I don't want the pressure. My TBR is never ending as it is. I haven't even been able to keep up with the books that authors have sent me. Yes. And I do get a lot of stuff from authors as well, but,
And
Oh,
I think, you know,
okay.
they know as long if you mention them on your YouTube channel or you put them on Instagram, that's pretty much all they can, like, you know, expect of you, because they know that there's so many people sending you things.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like some of these really big booktubers, I can just imagine what they get bombarded with. You know?
Yeah, all the time, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even I know a blogger, and she's been blogging like sci-fi and horror and like a few mysteries, but a lot of it's sci-fi and like horror and things. And she's always shows like what she's got for like the week or whatever it is, and she'll have like 6 or 7 actual books from all these different publishers, and then some digitals and stuff. And I know she doesn't get to them all because she's always like, "Oh, my July TBR is like out of this. I'm never gonna get to all these, you know." But she does show all the books that she gets on her, you know, on her blog.
So that is
And that's a huge to
publicity.
do.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what they're expecting you to do. Put it out there to where they can see it. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I remember, like, I mean, I've been watching Steve Donahue for years, and then when I got to meet him a couple of years ago and I was at his house, I saw the TBR shelf, the bookshelf, and literally he moves stuff up as he gets it, like month to month, you know what I mean, and moves it around. And like he says it even on his own channel. He's like, a publisher sends him a book and he holds it up in a video, maybe for 10 seconds or 30 seconds, that 12,000 people could potentially see just from his subscriber count alone. Not without even reviewing the book. You know what I mean? So that's
I'm so excited. I have gotten over 500 subs now.
I know, I saw that. I'm so happy for you.
I was like, yay!
I'm so happy for you. Storm, I just finished Gin and Daggers. I gave it 3 Goodreads stars. It was written exactly like I imagined Jessica Fletcher would write. I thought it was a bit stiff and, dare I say it, boring.
I was curious about it. Yeah, it's like, but there's so many, so somebody likes them. But maybe they get better. That was the first one, so.
And maybe it's the nostalgic or the fact of the love of Murder, She Wrote, the TV. Because which came first, the books or the TV show? Anybody know?
I want to say the TV show did.
I thought it did, and then they based the books around it.
Then somebody decided to run with it, and they've been running ever since.
I have 20 books from authors and was feeling bad I haven't read and reviewed them. Glad I'm not the only one. No, ma'am. Not even a little. Admire you guys. You get to keep up with them, though, Sarah. I can't believe you're caught up to 2020. I did look. I have a couple from 2016, like 2 or 3. But 2020 is when I got out of control because it was pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when I was home.
Fair enough.
And I think probably a lot of people did too.
Yeah, and now I'm never going to get caught up unless I suddenly win the lottery and can become like a woman of leisure.
And I mean, you know, you review for Harlequin, you'll never get caught up because they put out how many a month?
Seriously, like, honestly, stop putting out so many good books.
And you're like, oh, got to get that one.
And they're not available on audio.
Yeah, and they're not available on audio. Yes.
I could do the text to speech on the Gloss app, but it is very slow when it reads, and I just can't do it.
It's unbearable, yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I'm like, no, I'll just read this. Thank you.
You need to write to Harlequin and say, please update your Gloss app with a speed adjuster.
Speed increase. All right, you guys. Should we call it an evening? Because I am exhausted.
Sure. Yeah,
me too.
It's later where you guys are. So
yeah, I thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Are you all both going to be in Tiffany's tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay! So we'll talk then.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll talk to you later.
Guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.